What's going on, guys? My name is Jake, and this is Your Body Comp Prescription. Welcome back to another episode. I'm sure you all read the title, so you know what we're talking about, but let me give you a little bit of backstory. So, the other day, I was with Kelsey and my parents, and we went out to the movies. When we went to the movies, we saw Jungle Cruise, and unless you've been living under a Dwayne Johnson, you've probably heard about it. It's loosely inspired around the ride at the Disney parks, and it stars the aforementioned Rock, Dwayne Johnson, that I just made a Jungle Cruise skipper-esque joke about, right? And I'm curious to know what your guys' thoughts are. As someone who speaks on fitness, nutrition, bodybuilding, body transformation, and the mental aspect that comes with all of those things, I consider myself a person who's very aware of my personal lifestyle, my physique, my training, my diet, and all the effort that I try and make to improve all of those things. And essentially, I basically understand what I bring to the table. And with that said, I still walked out of that theater thinking about how massive The Rock is, how big Dwayne Johnson is. And maybe that's just the power of good acting and movie magic, tighter clothes, which I'm sure he does, better camera angles, maybe smaller props or a smaller supporting cast or something like that to make him look bigger. And, I think we all know what we do, like the certain things that we do to make ourselves look better on camera. And I'm sure all of those things apply to movies as well. But I looked it up because I was curious. I wanted to know if Dwayne Johnson's physical stats, like his height and his weight, were, a bunch of fake news, because he appears to be a really big dude. But according to Google, The Rock is 6'5" and 260 pounds. Now, like this is a big dude. And, I 100% view The Rock as more than just an actor. I definitely draw inspiration from him from many different aspects, like, his work ethic is crazy, his persistence, his mindset. I look at it from a bodybuilding standpoint as well, even entrepreneurship, etc. Right? He's got his hands in a whole bunch of different things. But I'm sure you've heard The Rock's backstory, and if you haven't, I'll give you a brief little summary so you're all caught up to speed. But the Rock has a great story, and oftentimes great stories come from hardship, and this is no different. So he was basically evicted at 14. He was kicked out of Hawaii and could no longer, live on the island. He then played football in college, and then he made it to the CFL and made almost no money. Then he became a wrestler in the WWE, which is how I knew him. I watched him as I was growing up. I watched wrestling as a kid. And then he started to transition to acting, right? And I'm sure you've all seen a movie with The Rock in it. And if you haven't, you probably don't watch movies. But somewhere in the middle of all of that, he only had $7 in his wallet. That's where his production company, $7 comes from. And then he used that as his motivation in order to, work his ass off to go make a name for himself. And then he became the success story that we obviously all know today. And getting back on track, I've talked about celebrity physiques before and Hollywood transformations. Jesus and I have given our thoughts multiple times on what actors do and use to achieve certain levels of physical appearance for a movie role. Chris Hemsworth for Thor, Christian Bale, Batman, the list goes on and on and on, right? And don't get it twisted. This isn't like a hate video. This isn't going to turn into a hate video throwing shade at Dwayne Johnson. I love the guy, honestly. But do I think Dwayne Johnson is enhanced? Yes. Yes, I do. I do believe that Dwayne Johnson is enhanced, meaning he uses some form of PED, performance enhancing drug. But I don't think he uses them all the time. However, I do think that he is on HRT, hormone replacement therapy, on a regular basis, because he's also about 49 or 50. He's starting to get up there in age as far as your ability to produce natural testosterone goes. And his ability to produce natural testosterone is definitely not as high as it used to be. And maintaining the physique that he has would be a lot easier with the help of these exogenous hormones. But for certain roles like a Hercules or like a Baywatch or something like that, where he knows he's going to be shirtless a lot of the time, he probably then, reaches for something like a little extra in order to boost his physique temporarily, to help, make himself look a little bit better for that role and immerse himself in the role and make it a little bit more believable from a viewer standpoint, which I'm completely fine with, by the way. And the reason I'm fine with all that is because I think that everyone should be allowed to do what they want with their body. Your body, your choice. And I think that includes anabolics, surgeries, or honestly, whatever you want to do. More power to you. Obviously, I don't promote those things, but those are choices that are completely up to you and that you're free to make. But this leads me into the question that I wanted to ask all of you guys. Do you think that celebrities place an unfair amount of pressure on the average person to go, above and beyond to be concerned about their appearance? Even if it's unintentional, right? They're not even aware that they're doing it. Because I know, and this is where I started to really think about it. It's because I know for the ladies out there, I know there's a couple of you out there that like to listen to my podcast and watch my YouTube videos, but I'm sure you'll very easily agree that there's a lot of pressure on you to get your hair done, get your nails done, get shaved or waxed or whatever, laser. You got to dress nicely. You got to have an ideal body shape, whatever that means, right? And I know a lot of times there are women out there that become dissatisfied with their figure or their appearance and start to desire like, a cosmetic surgery or something like that more and more frequently because of how often they see these women who look like they're, perfect, or that's what a girl wants to look like, because that's what they see so regularly on social media, in movies, magazines, all of it. They see certain figures and they find that these girls are attractive and that's what they want to be like. They start to idolize these people. I hear about it all the time from people that are my age, quote unquote, once I make my money, I'll have enough to get my nose done, or lipo, or BBL, or, insert whatever procedure of your choice, right? I hear that all the time from people that are my age. And again, I have no issue with any of those things. If that's what someone truly wants to do, then go for it. I support that 100%. If there's one thing that I want for everyone to do, is it's basically just to do what you want. And if it makes you happy, that's awesome. But do you think that celebrities place an unfair amount of pressure on the average person to go above and beyond to be concerned about their appearance? Again, even if it's unintentional. My answer is yes, but I personally don't have a huge issue with these standards, probably because I'm a guy. I definitely think, and I don't even think this is a question, that girls 100% have it harder than men do. But my only caveat is, and this goes for both men and women out there, my only caveat is that if you're complaining about how the Kardashians look, or how the Rock looks, or how an Instagram model looks, or a pro bodybuilder, you think it's unfair that they look like that because they have the money or the resources or whatever you want to call it, right? You shouldn't be mimicking their actions if you think that they place that pressure of appearance on you. Just a little food for thought. But I'm just going to stop it right there. I'll leave you on a little bit of a cliffhanger. I want this to be kind of a conversation. So I want to know what you guys think. If you're watching this on YouTube, let me know down in the comments. If you heard the audio version, shoot me a DM on Instagram. If you have my phone number, shoot me a text message. I'd love to talk about it and get your guys' thoughts and let me know what you think. But that's all from me. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.